Good evening, colleagues. Today I will be talking about the tool Edmodo and how it can be used in the classroom. So let's begin with a little warm-up activity. So let's say I'm in the classroom with my students. It'll be probably about kindergarten, pre-K, first grade. I would introduce the topic for the day, for example, animals, and I would go into my Edmodo, have my students log into their Edmodo, and go to my library, where I would open up a YouTube video just introducing like a short video about animals, the different kinds of animals, where they live, etc., etc. After the video is over, I would have the students comment on what they disliked, what they liked, what they would like to learn in today's lesson, what their favorite part of the video was, and etc. And that would set the tone for the day. That would be our little warm-up activity. So what exactly is Edmodo? It's sort of like educational social media. It's a website where students, teachers, and even parents can communicate with each other. Teachers can post assignments, quizzes, they can post grades, and students can comment, turn in assignments, they can take the quizzes, they can share a code with their parents so that their parents can look at their work and they can comment on each other's work and each other's comments, etc. It's pretty useful. So now I'm just going to take you on a little virtual walkthrough. Looks like we're having a little bit of difficulty. Okay, here we go. All right, since I already have an account, I'm going to go ahead and log in, but you see how you can type or click on join a group. I'll explain that. So let's try this again, a different one. Here we go. Okay, so welcome to your classroom. So here's the home page. You can see that you can write little notes and post to welcome your students. Over here you have your profile. Oops. First, let's start with groups. So here you can manage your groups. So I already have Miss Fraser Superstars as the beginning group, but you can create a group by clicking here. You would name your group. You can select the grade. You have a wide variety of subject areas you can choose from. So let's go ahead and pick science. And this group is primarily for students. And create. Oops. Let's say biology since we're talking about animals. Okay, and here's your group code. Now this is what you would give your students so that they can log into Edmodo and participate in classroom assignments and class discussions and stuff like that. So you would give that to your students and they would log in. Now let's go back to the home page. And you also have the option of joining group. And okay, so you can also join communities with other teachers. Let's explore a little bit about what we can do. So here's the library. And in the library, you can put all sorts of things. So if you press add, you can see you can add files, you can create folders, you can insert a link, or you can create quizzes for your students to do as like an assessment or an exit ticket, etc. So let's just use an example. And it connects to your computer. So you can choose anything up here. So let's do that. And upload complete. Okay. You can also create a folder. So let's say I have a folder for my first graders classwork. And you would select the grade, first grade. And the subject area, which we said would be science. And there you go, you have a folder. So I have two folders, classroom assignments and specifically first grade classwork. And I have a link to a video to show that you can add links. Now, if you go to progress, you have the option of giving your students badges, which means that if they do well in an assignment, you can add badges to, like, say they're a good citizen, or to say that they're a hard worker. It gives them positive feedback and encourages them to keep working hard. And here we have the spotlight, which is really important. It's a feature where teachers can upload their own lesson plans, any useful resources that they have for the classroom, and they can share it with each other. You also have the option of uploading your own content if you'd like to share it with your colleagues. Just scroll down and you have the free ones up here. Let's see. Handwriting. It's a quick, easy activity that students can create. Okay, so if you look, you can see other colleagues' comments on this tool and see how they responded to it. And you also have the option of adding it to your Edmodo library, so you can do that. Author, if you have any questions about like the assignment, or if you're not really sure about something that they said, you can do that as well. So let's just come back here. Here would be a notification. So if your students turned in any assignments, or if they commented on anything, then you would see that here. You can also use apps on here. You can connect apps to your Edmodo that could be useful for your students. So let's say you want to upload GeoGebra so that they can do math assignments on here. You could also do that as well. You can also see other apps that other teachers have uploaded, useful for the classroom, and you can add them to your Edmodo as well. All grades, all districts, all subjects. Useful. Also, if you don't want to go through the trouble of clicking add and like clicking on files or anything like that, this over here on the left-hand side automatically connects to your computer. So you can just click right there. You can also add files from a Google Drive automatically instead of having to share the link right here. You see them all right there. And that's about it for the walkthrough. Alrighty. Alright. So I've also provided a virtual handout so that we can talk about the pros and cons of using Edmodo. Because while it is very useful, there are also a couple of drawbacks. Okay, so as you can see here, here are the pros and cons. It's free. It facilitates communication with students, parents, and colleagues because, like I said, students can comment on each other's comments. Teachers are allowed to comment on students' work, and students can give parents special codes. They can't use the same codes that they have, but special codes where parents will be able to see their work, other students' work, and teachers' comments and comments that their classmates have made on their work. It's engaging for students because, you know, it's kind of similar to social media. Feedback for students, so it's helpful for when you're in the classroom and maybe a student may have a question, they don't want to raise their hand or they don't like to speak out loud, they can type up a comment instead. Communication and collaboration between classmates because when they see each other's comments, it helps them to be able to share ideas and maybe like ask each other questions like, what made you think that? Or like, I like the way that you said that. It provides resources for students and teachers because the students are able to access the apps that teachers may upload, or they can see the videos and it's all available in the library. And the teachers have access to tools that other teachers may have used by clicking on the Spotlight app. And you can access it anytime and any place because it's also available on mobile phones. So you can use it on the go, like if you want to check your grade or if you want to grade some assignments while you're on the go. Students can use it at home to do homework assignments. It's useful for a wide variety of subjects, as we saw in the walkthrough. It covered like science, reading, social studies, all kinds of things. And it teaches students to be technologically savvy. So with the increased use of Edmodo, you know, it helps them be able to navigate the online community and it helps them out for using technology in the future. Now, having said that, some of the cons are that it's time consuming for teachers to teach students how to navigate it, especially the younger the students are. It might take more time. It can be a little bit confusing, which is especially difficult for lower grade level classrooms. Like, for example, if you're a kindergarten teacher, it might be a little bit more difficult because kindergartners can barely hold a pencil, let alone navigate a whole computer. And it can be difficult to integrate into a school with little to no technology. Like, for example, if students wanted to post comments on like an assignment or anything or in a class discussion, each student would have to have a computer, or they'd have to have at least somewhere, you know, you could group together, but even then, all students wouldn't be able to be heard. And not all schools have access to technology like that. So here are just some additional sources that I found that or anyone could use if they want to find any more information on Edmodo. This first one is a scholarly article where a study was done on college students to see how they felt about using Edmodo, like their teachers using it and them seeing their grades and being able to communicate, like using it in the classroom. And generally they had favorable things to say. This video I found very helpful was a YouTube video where there was an interview with the teacher and her students, and the teacher just talked about what exactly is Edmodo, how she uses it in the classroom. There were interviews with the students, and the students talked about how they felt about Edmodo and if they liked it or not. Is another article, and they did another study, but this time it was on teachers in training and seeing how they felt about using Edmodo, like to communicate with each other, like as you would with a colleague in the field. And they generally had favorable things to say as well. But if you'd like to have more details on some of the drawbacks of Edmodo, that would be a good article to read because they also talked about that. So in the next one, we have a little closing activity. I did a little Kahoot to see, you know, if I answered all of your questions, if you have a good idea of how to use it. And if not, I also provided a link so that you can make your own Edmodo account if you would like, and you can explore it on your own if you'd want to, or make an account and use it in your own classrooms, which would be very nice, pretty useful. And again, those are just some of my sources. And that is it.